the calls, right, Knives?
That's absolutely right.
Are we ready to go or what?
Yes, sir. We're
Thank,
live.
boom. Thank you for your service.
Appreciate you. Whenever you're ready, sir.
So you're listening to episode 6 of the You're Human podcast, and I'm Dakota Meyer. We are so excited. It's been such a badass week. Last week we were out in North Carolina at Wounded Heroes Day. Such an awesome podcast, such amazing events with amazing people. I got to go out with Charlotte Fire Department, Station 4. Started the whole day out with a workout and just really got to spend the day with those guys as well, just seeing what they do and their passion, their love for the community and service. And was Knives, you were there.
I had an amazing time.
How was it? So like,
I don't know. What can we talk about?
I mean, all of it, but like, what was kind of like for you? What was was any of it surprising, or was it what you thought? Like, because you've never been in anything like that.
I've never been in anything like that. It was like it is in the movies, except I was there in real life in the backseat of a car, going how fast?
Yeah, going to a fire, right? So we got to run calls. They let me and Knives come in, and we got to, I think one of the most unique places at any fire station is we got a call. All right, I'll come back to that. Let's go. Hey, this is Dakota. What's going on?
Oh my God, is it really you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dakota. Oh
shit. What's going on?
I'm so sorry. It's going great. I have been wanting to talk to you for years. My name is Ricardo Aviles. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and I joined the Army in 2008 and moved to the States. And
awesome.
Just you are just such a badass, man.
No, listen, you are. I mean, gosh, how cool is that? Like, that's the story of America right there, right?
Dude, I could tell you a crazier story if you'd like.
Let's hear it.
I actually, this will be really funny. I'm a Spanish interpreter, and I used to work human trafficking cases.
Wow.
Child trafficking cases, and I used to read your Medal of Honor citation and the Medal of Honor citation for Edward Carter Jr. III for World War II.
Yeah.
Just so I could continue to help those kids, dude. It's such an honor to talk to you, dude. My friend John Sharkey, he just made 87, and he's a huge fan of yours.
Man, that's awesome. Like like a lot of times, like I don't ever hear that side of it. And, to think that people, that I was able to help that way. Gosh, it's just such an honor, right?
Yeah, man. It's just interesting, man, to see y'all's story and to see basically like how you've been able to like handle, because like some of the stuff that I've seen, like I never thought was that big compared to y'all. And it's just an honor to talk to you, man. Like, honestly, I'd love to interview you someday and talk to you about your mindset and how you're able to keep the spirit of the Corps and how you're able to like handle civilian life sometime, man. You're such a, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Like, let's do it. And honestly, for me, it's like, I don't think about like what if things had gone this way? Like, you know what I mean? I used to think about the whys, and I used to think about like, well, what about this? And what about this? I don't think about that anymore. For me,
I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to do that. Like when I left the island, I used to be like, man, what if I would have stayed and like helped make a better place? But I found my spot in Missouri, man. And it's lovely here. I have my wife, my kid, and like, yeah, I miss my family, but like, I got my military family here. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And you are where you're supposed to be, right? Like, I truly believe that no matter where we're all at, like, if we're going through a storm, it's because we're getting prepared for the sunshine, right? Like we're only getting stronger, and like wherever we're at in life is where we're supposed to be. Because the one thing I know for a fact, and I'm sure you've seen, is that, it's out of our hands.
Yeah. It is, man. Well, dude, I'd love to have you sometime. I know you got a bunch of other people I want to get in.
Yeah, shoot us an email over, man. I'd love to do it. Like, Knives will get in touch with you, and he'll take care of it.
Brother, thank you so much. I love you, man.
Thank you, man. I love you too, brother. Hey, have a great day. We got another one?
We got another one. Want to take it?
Yeah. Hey, this is Dakota with the Your Human podcast.
Hey, Dakota, how are you doing? This is Brendan Powers. Is this Dr. Myers?
Ah, it is. It is. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Doctor?
Good, good. What's going on?
Not much. I wanted to share what I think is a funny story, but kind of relate to you a little bit. Is that I was in, I had to stop in Memphis to get gas for a Blackhawk one time.
Yeah.
And there was a whole crew of like the mayor of Memphis and members of Congress and everything. And they were standing there with a whole greeting party to greet Woody Williams.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Woody Williams, he walked in and he saw the formal greeting party. And he saw us off to the side and he was like, "Screw you guys!" And he just walked over and hung out with us for like 20 minutes. It was awesome. So,
Yeah.
I just think that as you mature in your career as a doctor and get older and older, just become a role model for people. I really enjoyed the humor that Woody had and just his desire to just kind of hang out with the troops and avoid the spotlight. And I really see that that's something that you can do and bring to the troops for future generations. And
yeah, and that's that's honestly what's important to me, right? It's about the people still doing it. It's about taking care of where not forgetting where I came from, and whether it appears that way or not. Sometimes because there is a balance, right? Like I have to play the game sometimes in order to be able to still be able to have those because the people that you got to play the game with are the ones that provide you the opportunities to be and be in those places to get around the guys that are the guys and girls or the people that of where you came from and be able to give back to them, and it's a balance, and it's something that I've definitely played with and trying to figure out the right balance, and I think that's life with everything. But yeah, I mean, it's like if it wasn't for those politicians, he would have never had that opportunity to be able to say hi to you. But it's about using that to get to where you want to be able to inspire the people that you love and care about, right?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't dogging the politicians at all, but it was.
Oh no, I am. I'll dog them. They're all terrible. Let me dog them for you.
Yeah. No, because what they did was then they wanted to take a formal picture, and he was like, as long as all these guys can be in the background, I'll do a formal picture with the governors and politicians and all these people.
How awesome is that? Hey, so you're a Blackhawk pilot?
Yeah, I am. So
man,
I still fly in the Army Reserves. I started off in the Marine Corps. I was an old 35, 31. And now I'm a warrant officer and should be retiring here in the next year or so.
Well, awesome, man. Well, congratulations. I really appreciate you calling in, sir.
Thanks. You ever in Florida, you got a spot at my ranch to go hunting whenever you want.
Well, don't threaten me. You know what I mean?
Ross, Dan, and Jack, they all know how to get a hold of me.
Awesome. I'll get in touch with them.
All right, man.
Thanks,
See you, doctor. Thank you.
All right, take care, man. See ya. What awesome people, right?
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
We're getting blown up.
We are getting blown up today. That's what we wanted, right?
Exactly.
Listen, if you got any questions, you want to call in, you want to be on the show, 512-523-5609. Go over and check us out. You can listen and hear who we're talking to and all that on Facebook and on YouTube. That tube of you.
Yes, sir. There's someone who called in a few times. We can call him back.
Let's call him back. Let's see who it is. You know what I mean?
Might be Matthew. Oh, didn't answer us.
He denied us.
We have a Grant calling.
All right, let's answer. Grant, what's going on? It's Dakota Meyer with Your Human podcast.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm in school right now, but I found a way, so I'm talking to you, man. That's what's up.
Hell yeah, man. What are you in school for?
I'm in high school right now. It's just my 6th period. I'm just, doing my work.
Oh yeah, man.
Instagram story.
And
I think you talked to my mom and dad about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Philip and Dawn.
Yeah. I remember they called in. They were awesome.
And yeah, I wanted to talk to you when they were on the phone, but they were talking, so I was gonna let them. But I had just got back from the beach, and I listened to a podcast with you and Robert O'Neill on the way back.
Yeah.
And the one thing you said about good always outlasts bad just really stuck with me. And like since then, I've been thinking that so much.
Man, that means a lot. Yeah. And I believe that, right? Like, and people, like, if you ever notice, man, you're in high school, right? And like, it's such a cool place where you're at. And like, it's kind of cool because you kind of get to see like everybody's kind of developing their own thoughts and their beliefs, and like it's really like a really unique time, and there's a lot of
Interesting
influences.
time in life.
It is right, but like it doesn't mean it's bad, you know. And what you're gonna see, man, is like, you know, I'm sure you have these people around you who are negative all the time, or all their conversations are just about gossip and just, you know, they're like talking
so
shit.
hard to just have real conversations and real talks and like hold each other accountable because no one's like taking anything serious.
Yeah, man. But like, here's the thing. You know what I see in that, and especially for a guy like you who picked up on that, is like, man, you're already ahead of everybody, right? Like, you know, like, you know, in this world of, you know, especially where you're at, right? Like you're getting ready to choose on if you're going to go to college or what you're going to do next, like all those aspects. You're already paying attention to that. You're already starting to figure out these nuggets that matter instead of wasting time on the stuff that doesn't matter. And the cool part is like the opportunity for you is astronomical because the competition is, like you said, I mean, they're over here sleeping while you're out there getting after it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, I appreciate you calling in. Like, and it is like, I promise you, and there's good and all bad. And it's just about finding it, and good will always prevail. What'd you say?
The more time goes on, the more I'm just appreciating stuff, man. Just appreciating the good that there is. And when there isn't, I try to spread it as much as I can.
That's right, man. And that's all you can do. And guess what? It's going to be that way forever.
Yes, sir. That's all I can do, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in, and call in anytime.
Absolutely, man. Hey, you have a blessed day.
You too, brother. Hey, and tell your mom and dad I said hi.
I got you, man. If you want to come to my graduation party, send me a text.
Hey, shoot me over your stuff and we will.
I got you.
See you, brother.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. What a good kid, right?
Let's answer Caroline.
Carolyn. Hey, what's going on? It's Dakota Meyer with the You're Human podcast.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I got through. Hi, Dakota.
How are you?
I'm representing the female voices, I guess. Callers. I was listening earlier. I hadn't heard any ladies call in yet.
None. You're the first.
Probably won't be the last. My name's Caroline Chavez, and forgive me, I'm a little nervous speaking with you. I just wanted to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And I live here in North Carolina, and I'm a pharmacist. I took time off to care for my parents. My dad and my mother passed away last year. They were not, but they lived long lives. They were 91. And my dad, he served during the Korean conflict.
Oh, wow.
He was drafted, but he did not shirk his responsibility. And I'm really proud of him for that. And he came back and, you know, was on, I guess, the GI Bill, or somehow they helped pay for his law school. And he became a lawyer and then a district court judge, and retired that way in North Carolina. And my mom was a retired teacher for 30 years. But anyway, they were big fans of yours, okay, both of them. And as my husband, too, he'll be really excited that I got through. His name's Craig, and his granddad was a retired colonel in the Army.
Wow.
Living in Seattle. And unfortunately, you know, he passed away a few years ago. You know, it was the greatest generation, of course. He served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
And survived.
That's a trifecta.
A thriving life.
Yeah.
And forgive me for talking about my family, but I just wanted to give you a little background about who I am. And my family, and how supportive we are of you and our United States military. And one of the things I wanted to hear from you, if you wouldn't mind commenting on, is, you know, the status today. What do you think is the best way to get new recruits, you know, to join the military? And the second question is a different thing. It's how you in 2023 would define the American dream.
Yeah.
And what that means to you now.
No,
and
so
I'm going to hang up so that you can, you know, so that you can answer.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump back on so I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Take care and God bless.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good luck on your upcoming marriage, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, and I appreciate you. You know, I appreciate you and what you're doing still. And, you know, like, gosh, you all are just amazing. So just thank you so much for calling in and giving me your time.
Okay, I'm gonna jump back.
Okay.
off.
All right. So the first question that Carolyn brought up was, you know, I think it was more about like, you know, comparing the greatest generation to today, and how do we get people to believe in that? I think it comes down to, the difference isn't the hard times. The difference is what we choose to do with the hard times versus what they chose to do with the hard times. You know, to me, like for the 9/11 generation, the Vietnam veterans were our heroes. You know, and I would say to the Vietnam veterans, you know, they got to know the World War II veterans and the Korean War veterans. I mean, same thing. I don't know. I'm not a Vietnam veteran, but I would say it's that way. And what I would say is I believe that with the 9/11 generation, that the jury's still out, and I hope it is. I hope that what you've seen as far as leadership and as far as this entitlement a little bit, I hate to say it, isn't going to be what represents us. You know, I believe that these other generations, the reason that they were remembered as so great and incredible wasn't because of just the battles that they won, but was more importantly about what they did when they came home. They took that same patriotism, they took that same drive, they took that same love and passion that they won the nation's battles with, and they brought it back and they infused it in the communities that they fought for, right? And so for me, I believe that that's going to be the deciding factor. And it's we've got to, as a veteran generation, we've got to hold each other accountable to another standard. We've got to hold each other accountable to coming back and to still serving. Like once that uniform's over, this country owes us nothing, right? It's like, it's not what can the country do for me? It's what can we do for the country still. You know, the World War II generation, when they came home, they didn't have anything. They didn't have people out here, you know, handing them out and all these resources. We've got more resources today for veterans than we've ever had. You know, and so it just comes down to us using those for good and using those to give back to the communities, and for us changing our mindsets and saying, I got out and I was this way. The reason I'm talking about this is because I was this way. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I had a chip on my shoulder. You know, I served this country. This country owes me, you know, blah, 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 on and on and on. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's like, what can I still do for this country? Yeah, I might have taken off that uniform that I was serving with. All I did was put on my new uniform, my little my urban camouflage right here, right? And I'm still out there trying to do the same purpose. The same purpose that I had in Iraq and Afghanistan is the same purpose I wake up with every day. And it's trying to make the world I'm part of a better place. So that's the mentality we've got to get to. It took me a long time, but that's the mentality we've got to get to as far as that. And once we start doing that, once we start having veterans go out and representing, and I think another big piece is veterans telling their stories. It matters. You know, I understand some people can't talk about it, and I get that. But I do think it's important for veterans to come back and tell their stories, because we've got to. Because I'll tell you this, everybody else out here is telling their stories. The Kardashians are telling their stories, ain't it? So if you want to give people something, you got to give people something to strive to. And the only way you do that is by the stories of what men and women who've wore the nation's cloth have done. People got to know about it. People can't understand it if they don't know about it. They can't want to be about it if they don't know about it. And the only way they know about it is by veterans telling their stories. So that's that aspect of it. I don't know if I answered your question. I hope I did. And then the second part was what, Knives?
What do you think about, how do you define the modern American dream?
It's the same. It's the same. You know, and I think we prove that every time you see protest, every time you see people doing whatever they want to do. Like, I mean, look, you can't do that in other countries. You know, the American dream is to come here and be whatever you want to be, believe whatever you want to believe. But the key to that is that you can believe whatever you want to, and you can back whatever you want to, but it doesn't mean that I have to, and we can coexist. That's what America is. America isn't isn't one side knows everything and we have to believe this side. And if you don't believe or agree with this side, then you're the enemy. That's not what America is. That's what every other country is. What America is that, hey, I can believe my way and you can believe your way, and we can still sit here and know that we're Americans, and that no matter what, no matter how different we are on our political angles or beliefs or religion or all this, or where we come from, we're all still under the American flag. We all are still Americans, and that's what we can relate to and what we can coexist by, and that's what we can respect and appreciate and love each other by, right? That's the American dream in my mind. But like I said, everybody's getting to the point to where it's like my way or the highway, and that's, you can go to another country if that's how you feel. Who else calling us, Knives?
We're getting blown up. Felix has called us quite a bit.
Let's call Felix. Let's see what Felix is doing.
Oh.
Felix, what's going on? It's Dakota Meyer with the Your Human podcast.
Hey, how you doing? This is Felix, retired Chief Warrant Officer. Hey, I just want to, and a former drill instructor at that.
Thank you for your service.
Paris Island and OCS, and wanted to ask you, hey, did he? I was always asked the chaos and confusion that drill instructors create. It's not to stress an individual out, but I wanted to ask you that chaos and confusion was created so someone could perform or fight or flight, basically. And the other thing I wanted to add was that, you talked about entitlements. I tell people all the time, entitlements earned, not given. And one thing came up to mind, and after I got out, I volunteer with DAV, take vets to appointments and help feed the homeless and everything, but you got to make your communities better. And when the president passed, said, hey, I'm going to give $10,000 of free education out there. And my thought was, I had to serve to get an education, go to night school, I had to serve. And $10,000 should be service connected. In other words, not serve in the military, but serve your communities. Not a way to pay everyone, to pay the full amount back, but a way to serve your community. Hey, clean up parks, clean up a road, volunteer at schools, and so forth. So, but once again, my hat's off to you,
Yeah.
Dakota, and Semper Fi. Just an amazing individual, and I'm proud to have you as my brother.
No, Semper Fi, I appreciate you, brother. Hey, and thank you for what you're still doing. You know what I mean? Thank you for what, getting out and still helping each other, still taking care of the ones we can, right? Like still trying to make a difference where we can do that, right?
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, sir. And to kind of touch a couple of those topics. Look, $10,000. I look. I agree that I think people should have to serve for it. But at the end of the day, as well as I do, when you start forcing people to do community service or something like that, does it really make that big of a difference? You know what I mean? Because then they're just doing it for the money, right? And at some point, like I truly believe that if we get out there and we show people how to serve, and as long as we start cleaning up our own household, right? Like we start being examples in our own homes, and we start teaching our kids. Like my kids know on Thanksgiving that we go out and we pass turkeys out to people who in my community probably wouldn't have one, right? We go and Christmas, we do the same thing. And we don't have a country problem. We don't have a law problem. We don't have we don't. The only problem we have is we got a people problem, right? And it comes down to us as individuals holding each other accountable, and not just accountable of saying what people are doing wrong, but hold ourselves accountable of showing people what right is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
One thing I wanted to say is like, one thing you hit on was make your community better. You walk your dog around the park, pick up the trash on all around. Doesn't take much, make your areas better. But hey, I want to tell you something that you should. I thank your drill instructors as a former drill instructor as well. Is that they did a great job with you, and my hat's off to them as well.
They did.
If they created an awesome individual that performed under chaos and confusion and did the uttermost best.
No,
that he could ever do for anyone.
I just did what you guys train us to do, right? I remember Staff Sergeant Corsi, Sergeant Brady, and Sergeant Lee. I remember all three of them.
that is amazing.
Hey, thank you, sir, and thank you for
made an
what you.
amazing Marine. But thank you so much, and Simplify.
Thank you, Simplify. What an awesome guy. You know what I mean? That's what it's about right here, Knives. I could do this for 3 hours.
Picking up the trash, right?
Picking up the trash. Just pick up the trash. You know, if you don't know of anything you can do good in your community, then look, you walk by, I guarantee you can pick a piece of trash up. Doesn't even take you talking to somebody. You made the world just a little bit better.
It's called Wanda. She's called in a few
Let's
times.
call Wanda. See what Wanda's doing. Wanda, how are you? It's Dakota with the Your Human podcast.
Hi, Dakota. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I just wanted you to know that I know of at least 4 young men that have joined the service because of what you and several of the other groups did the day that what happened in Afghanistan.
Yes, ma'am.
And they were, I don't know how to say it. They had a different way of thinking until they saw that, and I showed them what you did and what several of other groups that I've seen, and how you've talked to different people on Fox and like Sean Hannity,
Yes, ma'am.
and Tucker Carlson, and they didn't believe me, and they kept doing their research, and it's because of what you guys did. They completely changed their thought process, and please just continue to do what you're doing. And I am so grateful for you and for all of the guys that are serving, men, women, and everybody. And I myself I'm working to help get some of the working dogs still out
Oh, awesome.
that are still there. And you mean a lot.
Well, you know, I don't even know what to say. I mean, that means a ton to me. And you know, just knowing that we still got good people raising their right hand to go serve this country, right? And anything I can do to show people that, you know, it's a battle, right? Like the enemy is the media. The enemy is all these people I'm fighting against, trying to make this idea that America's not great, that the American military is not great. And it's just completely false, right? I mean, you've seen those 4 young men that decided to go serve their country. I mean, if we've got people all across the nation like that, raising their right hand to go do good, you know, do you think our military is really that bad?
Our military, absolutely not. I come from a family of pretty much all military, and I literally stop people on the street, and if I see that they've been in the service of any type,
Yeah,
I thank them. And my brother actually last Friday retired from the Air Force,
awesome.
and he was in the reserve, and he was working for the FFA and retired from both of them. And with everything that's going on, the older ones like my brother, I'm glad that he's getting out because he's got a few health issues. But the younger ones, if you actually show them and don't yell at them the difference, they'll see it.
They love it. They love it. Yeah, we still got.
And I can't show them. You can't show them anything that's like on the far right channels. You have to just show them stuff that like you do, and stuff about certain people that are trying to make this country bad when it's not. And I'm not going to mention any names.
No, of course.
I don't want to make it political.
Of course.
But I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
There's plenty of them. You know what I mean? There's plenty of them.
Yeah.
And I always say, you know, the people that you hear just yelling at you and telling you that there's a problem, like Fox, like right and left. I mean, all of them are right now. All these guys up there, all these guys and girls and all these people up there who are just sitting here feeding you all these problems and all the things that are wrong and are just pointing the finger. I promise you this, none of them are ever lifting a finger to make a change. All they want to do is point out the problems. None of them are ever going to be making a change. They're just getting paid millions of dollars to sit up there and just tell you the problems, tell you how bad the nation is, and then tell you that they're patriots and they're this and they're this. And it's like, no, I mean, what have you done? What's the last thing you've done to make this world a little bit better other than tell everybody and point out the problems?
Yep.
So
100%.
thank you.
I've actually, I've actually heard of one person, and if I mention his name, he'd probably shoot me. And
Well, then don't do it. I don't want you to
said
get
that-
shot.
I don't know one of those, if it was you specifically, but you guys helped him get out of Afghanistan.
Yeah. Well, listen, love it. Love it. Thank you so much for everything you do and your family. And thank you for calling in. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye. Who's calling in now, Knives? We're blowing up.
This might be Willie.
Willie.
It's called in a few times.
All right. Here we go.
Hello, it's Kirk.
Hey, what's going on? It's Dakota with the Your Human podcast.
Hey, man, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I kind of got a little bit of a different story, but I wanted to thank you and everybody that served our country. My dad, my granddads, and my uncle, and I in high school signed up, took the ASVAB test, passed it, and then had a car wreck and blew my back out.
Oh,
Was not
man.
able to serve.
Well, listen, appreciate you.
What I've done what I did around home is I volunteer around here and I help the sheriffs out. And I also work for a couple of country music artists, John Michael Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
From Kentucky.
Yep.
And I'm from Kentucky.
You are?
And
Where
I work
at?
in Bruce, Alabama. Yeah, I'm Western Kentucky, Mayfield, Kentucky.
Oh, Mayfield. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
But I just wanted to let you know that we get to go play for troops in the music industry. And, we love being able to see them overseas and here in the United States as well,
well, we appreciate everything that you do, sir. Appreciate, all that. It always means a lot to us.
Well, it's great. And we got a couple of friends in common, Ray Cashcare and Robert O'Neill.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And both of them great guys. Well, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for calling in.
I put a thing in there. I want to invite you out to one of our shows whenever you want. So if you want to reply to me on Messenger or something,
Yes,
I
sir.
can get you the information.
Okay. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.
Have a blessed day.
Take care. Bye-bye. Who else we got? We got somebody else calling in?
Yeah, we have Jeremy.
Jeremy. All right, let's go. We're blowing up today. Dun, 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 dun.
Hello.
Jeremy, what's going on? It's Dakota with the Your Human podcast.
How's it going, Dakota?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm super excited to speak with you.
Awesome, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. I'm actually just packing up an apartment right now. I'm moving back home for a little bit, so things are a little stressful, but it's awesome to get a chance to talk to you. And I just wanted to first and foremost say thank you for your service. And
Man, it's my honor.
I really appreciate and enjoy your content that you do. And I've read the book, and it's an honor to talk to you. And yeah,
Man, I appreciate it.
How are you?
I'm all good. I'm all good. So what do you got going on?
So I'm just packing up my apartment. I'm 23. I live in Colorado, and I'm gonna move back home for a little bit, and then I'm doing a backpacking trip this summer in Alaska. So
Oh, man.
yeah, dude. I'm just getting ready for that, and super excited about that. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I wanted to ask you because I really enjoy the Jocko Fuel Jack Savage flavor, and I wanted to know if you and Jocko were planning to do any more collabs in the future, or any other different flavors or anything.
So, I mean, listen, they're coming out with flavors all the time. They've got, so Jocko Fuel has a new flavor out, or it's a new product out called RTD, the ready to drink protein. And when I tell you off the chain, I think by far the best tasting product on the market, definitely the best tasting, I would say, in my opinion, it's the best. I hate protein, but gosh, I could drink those all day long. Just how they figured that out, how they got it dialed in was incredible. And so to answer your question about products, 100%. I mean, I would for sure believe that Jocko's going to continue to come out with more products. I mean, Jocko's war against unhealthy, these other companies that are producing all this terrible shit that's killing people, like is a battle that is second to none to him, right? And so, you know, him being able to provide people healthy, great products and being able to give people the fuel they need that's not bad for them is you know, is something that so I will tell you that I have no doubt there's going to be more stuff coming out for sure.
Yeah, I enjoy his product.
Yeah. I mean, him, Pete, Brian, I mean, they're all just incredible. They just truly care about America. They care about people and they care about, you know, doing what's right. And so it's awesome. They're just an awesome group of people.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I really liked the part in your book. It gave me a little bit of a laugh when I don't know, I don't remember it too well, but just the part where you were with this lady, maybe like a therapist or something, and she was like something about if you beat her in a game of ping pong. Or
yeah,
something.
I lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost and I got sent home. So
yeah, that part cracked me up because I love ping pong and I've made kind of deals over ping pong as well.
That's awesome, man. Well, good luck. Hey, good luck with packing. I'll let you get back to packing. Good luck with your trip in Alaska. Be careful, man. And I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. I'm tuned in right now on YouTube, so I'm definitely going to keep watching.
Awesome, man. All right, see you, brother.
Bye.
Who's next? Who's calling in?
Let's see. Brian called us a few times.
All right, let's call Brian back. We got all kinds of people calling in today.
Let's call him again.
Let's call him again. He said
maybe we try to call each other at the same time.
He said no go.
Let's give Michael a call.
Okay, let's go. Call him. Did Michael say no too? These guys don't want to talk to us somewhere.
They might be trying to call us at the same time.
Okay. Throw me a question.
Let's see. Would you ever franchise OTD?
Oh, here we go.
TBD.
Hey, what's going on? It's Dakota with the You're Human podcast. Hung up. Hey, what's going on? It's Dakota with Your Human podcast.
Hey, Dakota, it's Brian. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you, Brian?
I'm good. I just wanted to give you a shout out. I'm a Greene County native.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, long time no see. I've been watching you on live a little bit, so keep up the good work. Thanks for your service.
I appreciate that, man.
So I just saw you on live, so I just wanted to reach out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. How's Greene County doing?
Oh, small and not much going on, not much around.
Well, that's not always a bad thing, is it?
Yeah, it's nice. Close
Awesome.
to the family here, I guess. So
that's all that matters. Awesome. Well, I hope you have a good day.
Thanks. You
Take
too.
care. See ya. Greene County. That's where I grew up, Knives.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Greene County.
I graduated from Greene County High School.
You graduated?
I did. I did graduate.
Donnie said he had the privilege to meet you at Cracker Barrel in Kentucky and tried to buy your breakfast, but somebody already beat him to it.
Man, I'll tell you this. The one place you don't want to try to buy me breakfast at is Cracker Barrel because it's going to be a lot. Here we go.
This might be Marty.
Okay. Hey, what's going on? It's Dakota with the Your Human podcast.
Hey, Dakota, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you, sir?
Good. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for your service. And I've dealt with some mental health issues pretty bad. And your book basically saved my life. I read it when I was in the hospital, in the psych ward. So.
Man, I appreciate that. You doing good now?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, man. What do you do?
So I work part-time. I was out of work for about a year and a half getting my mental health, but I've figured out, but I've got my purpose and I want to give back. So I'm becoming what's called a peer support specialist. So fitness has changed my life.
Hell yeah, man.
So I'm going to be using fitness and kind of the tools that have helped me to help others that are struggling. So
yeah. Well, listen, man, I mean, that's what it's about, right? Like figuring out how we get through it, not just for us, but so that we can bring others through it, right?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in, brother, and I'm glad to hear you're doing good.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day, man.
Bye.
See you. Who's calling in now?
I tried to reach out to Shannon. Let's give her a call back.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Here we go.
Hello,
Hey, what's going on? It's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Dakota. Hold on a second.
We're live, buddy.
I got you. I had you playing in the background on the phone.
Oh, I love it. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, this is Shannon Brooks, former Kentucky boy, now in Austin, Texas, Navy corpsman. Big
Awesome.
long-time fan.
Man,
Anyway.
you're here in Austin?
Yeah, bro.
Hell yeah, man. We got to get a workout in together.
Well, listen, I just want to go fishing with you, bro.
Oh, well, you had me at the F and fishing.
So, but no, hey, listen, man. I just want to tell you, I've been a huge fan of yours for a long time. Actually, I believe you and I hung out at Spanky's bar once.
Oh gosh.
And, yeah, long time ago.
Man.
Long time ago. This is probably before you ever got your award.
Yeah.
However, but yeah, big fan.
That's awesome.
I don't know. Just thought I'd call in and say hi, man.
Hell yeah, man. Well, are you doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm getting ready to release a music video for a song called Dear Mom. Just kind of doing the thing, grinding as I usually do.
Hell yeah, man. Well, send that thing over to me and let me push it out.
Well, I would be beyond grateful for that, man.
Well, shoot it.
Absolutely stupid grateful.
Listen, you Navy corpsmen, I always tell people that, you're not Marines, but you are, I mean, you might as well be a Marine. And you all are literally the angels of the Marine Corps, right? And you guys are just incredible, different human
Wow.
beings.
Brother, I appreciate that. Trust me, I spent 17 years in the Navy, 15 of that as a grunt,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't change the world. I wouldn't change a thing, man.
Hell yeah,
I
man.
probably wore my Navy blues 6 times. Otherwise, I was wearing Elvis Charlies and freaking camis. So
Well, you know what? It's a pretty good life if you can say 15 out of 17 years, you wouldn't change a thing.
I wouldn't, brother. I
Hell yeah.
promise you.
Well, I hope you have a great day. Send me over that video. Let me support you.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you, man.
Dakota. I appreciate
Have a
it,
great
man.
day.
You too. God bless.
God bless. Who we got calling in now?
I can't pronounce their name, but give it a second. I have a feeling they're going to call back. They've called 7 times.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That sounds like an X.
Oh, God. We're giving them a call now.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hey, it's Dakota with the Your Human Podcast.
Hey, Dakota. How you doing, sir?
Good. What's going on, man?
Not much. I just was scrolling through Facebook and saw you were online and thought, what the hell? Try calling.
Hell yeah, man.
And,
What are you into?
I'm a correctional officer.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, no, thank you for yours. It's you've done more than a lot of people, with military. Now you're doing your thing with firefighter stuff and, continuing to serve people. And that's awesome. I appreciate everything you do.
That's what it's about. You doing good?
I am. Yeah, I am. Unfortunately our like law enforcement, like military, corrections has a lot of suicides as well and mental health issues. So,
Yeah.
That's something that's a concern for me. And I've had friends who were in corrections with me. He was a Marine and, unfortunately took his life, and it just, it sucks. So I appreciate everything you do and the hard work you do to, get the word out and help, try and make a change in that aspect.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate you calling in.
Dakota, thank you. It was such an honor to speak with you, and God bless you. And
God bless you.
Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
You too, brother. Take care, man.
Thank you.
See ya.
You too.
What else, Knives?
Let's call Ken.
Ken. We're going to call Ken. I just love talking to people. How cool is
It's
it?
great, isn't it?
It's awesome.
Hello?
Hey, Ken, what's going on? It's Dakota Meyer with Your Human Podcast.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Just getting got the day off. I'm getting my bass all ready to go fishing.
Man.
And, figure I'd ask you a quick question if you had a second.
Yeah, man, send it.
So little backstory. Long story short, I live up in upstate New York. You know, have a friend, I should say. He's like my brother. Grew up across the street from me. Our lives were identical. We, you know, walked to school together, walked home from school together, played every sports together. You know, and basically our lives mirrored until we graduated. I went off to school. He tried school, didn't work off, ended up joining the Marines. And this was back in like right around 9/11 time. So he called himself like the last of the analog Marines. He was in before everything switched over to the digital camo thing. But long story short, after he got back from Iraq, you know, he had some issues with everything that he had kind of gone through. And it was hard for me as a civilian, you know, to really understand it. Cause I look at, you know, I listen to like stories like yours and, you know, like Marcus Luttrell's, and it's like, man, there's like a fraction of the percentage of people on this planet that go through an experience like that. So how does like somebody like me who, you know, I don't really struggle with mental health things. I don't struggle with PTSD. How do I, you know, understand that and be there, you know, as a friend? And, you know, long story short, you know, he was home, he was going to the VA, and at the time, I don't think they were really, you know, dealing with it correctly. And they were popping full a lot of medication, and it was turning into someone who it wasn't supposed to be. And, you know, one day I got the, what I call the goodbye phone call, where he called me and, you know, basically, you know, was saying goodbye to me. And at the end of the conversation, I said, you know, you're kind of pushing me to a point of saying things where I have to do something. I can't hear you say these things to me and not, you know, do something. So we got off the phone. I was a couple hours away from him. His friend, or his cousin, who's a good friend of mine, just a state trooper. So I called him. Long story short, they were able to get a local barracks to go over, check on him. After talking about 45 minutes, he did agree to go to the VA. We, him and his mom, or me and his mom, put him in like that kind of hold period, I guess, for like mental health things. I guess it's just like a 72-hour hold or something like that. And when he was in there, he had access to a phone, and he was calling me, and he didn't even sound like the same person. It was like the devil. I mean, there was just the most horrible things were coming out. He was blaming me for everything. And I knew it wasn't him that was speaking. And then at the end of this time, he got out, he came to me, he gave me a hug, and he says, dude, he's like, I know I said a lot of horrible stuff to you, but you saved my effing life. And then from there, he went on, used a GI Bill, got his 4-year degree. Now he's engaged. He started his own business, and I'm best man in his wedding next month. So there's a long way of asking is, how do people understand and help, you know, people that go through situations like you went through and deal with the struggles that you do, but we haven't done it ourselves. You know, I think about that clip back on that TV show you were on, you know, going through your divorce, and you had said to your ex that you just want her to understand. You just want her to, you know, be there for you. And it's sometimes hard for us to understand that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, first off, like, you know, I want to say right now that like one of the most important questions that you can ask somebody that's in crisis is, are you considering, you know, I don't want to say it wrong because they've changed the sentence up for it, right? It's not, are you thinking of suicide, right? It's not thinking of suicide, but are you thinking of harming yourself? It's you can't say commit suicide. I don't know why, but it's not like, I don't know. But anyways, are you thinking of, I don't know what the phrase is, but anyways, you should directly ask people that, right? I mean, you did the right thing. And look, and so many times, you know, I call it brotherhood. You don't have to go. Look, you know what hard days are like, right? I mean, there's nobody that's above the age of 16 years old that doesn't know, that hasn't had a worst day of their life, right? I mean, or whatever age, right? Like we've all know what the worst day of our lives are. We've all struggled at some point. And I'll tell you this, if you're an adult and you don't get to 25 in this world without dealing with something, right? And so, look, we're all trying to out victimize each other. We're too worried about you trying to understand what it's like being shot at. I don't understand what the worst day of life for you is, just like you don't understand it for me. But it doesn't mean that we have to understand what you've gone through. Or, I mean, gosh, I've been on calls or in gunfights to where something affected me, or it affects everybody who's involved different, right? So even if you were there, it doesn't mean that you would have felt the same way or had the same cause on you or anything, right? So it's not about that, but it's about loving people, right? It's about doing what's best for them, even if they don't agree with it or not, right? Like, you know, I mean, how many times did people just overlook that and entertain that behavior. I look at my life, for probably 6 years, people, oh, Dakota, I don't understand what you've gone through, so, I couldn't imagine what you've gone through losing your team as I'm sitting here drinking my ass off, drinking a handle of Crown a day. Well, I mean, just because I lost my team doesn't, you don't have to go get in a gunfight to know that I should stop drinking. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just about caring about people, and it's about putting what's best for others over being liked, right? Like I always talk about, and this idea of brotherhood or this idea, or this even parenting, right? Parents all the time, or people are so selfish that they had rather their kids like them and be their friend rather than telling them and being the adult and teaching them and training them for what life's going to be like, right? And then they wonder why kids are so messed up, right? And it's the same thing with our friends. How many of your friends do you know that you should look at and say, hey, you're doing the wrong thing? Hey, you're drinking too much. Hey, you're not spending enough time with your family. Hey, you're being a piece of shit. And we all just don't say anything.
Right. Well, that was part of I wouldn't say the problem, but in my head, the whole, there was probably like a 6-month period before it got to a head where I was noticing him just, we'd be driving, he had so much medication in him that we'd be driving down an exit and he'd drive by the exit, not even realizing it. And it was tough because I was afraid of what he would say if I did confront him about it. You know what I mean? So what's the ease? Like, how would you want somebody a friend of yours that, might not understand how would you want them to come to you and lend a hand, to say, I want to help you. How do I help you? Type of thing.
Let me ask you this. If I looked at you and you were doing something wrong and I came to you and I said, like, none of us want to be corrected. You don't want to be corrected. Nobody likes being held accountable. There is nobody that says, gosh, I look in the mirror and I'm fat and that feels great. Nobody, right? Nobody wants to look in accountability is not about what's the best way to do it? It's about your intentions behind it. Nobody's going to like it. Nobody's going to you could be speeding 30 miles an hour over and get pulled over by a cop. Are you happy about it? No, none of us are, right? So it's like, I'll tell you this, what I do is I got friends in my circle, man, it's a gauntlet every day. When I joined the Marine Corps, what was interesting about it is you were never going to be good enough, right? But you weren't striving to be good enough. You were just always striving to be better. None of us are perfect. You go all the way back to the Bible. The Bible tells us we're not perfect, right? Like God's the only one that's perfect. Jesus Christ, who is the only perfect human being that ever walked the face of the planet. So, whether you believe it or not, look at the story and get the lesson from it, right? Nobody's perfect. But it's about how can we strive to be better? And the only way we get better is by looking at where we can improve. And the only way that we can improve is in the places that we're deficient at, right? Or we're not good at, we need to be better at. And the only way we do that is through accountability and people telling us what we need to hear, not what we want to hear, right? And that's what it takes. Imagine it's like taxes. Accountability is like taxes. If at some point we all have a little bit of taxes in the problems going on in the world today, right? Like you said, how long did it take you? How many times did it take you to finally hold him accountable? So at the point that he got to was partly your fault too, because maybe it wasn't the time or anything, but again, we've got to hold each other accountable and push each other to be better, but it's about our intentions behind it. I'm not hard on my kids because I want to control them or I just want to be mean to them or I want to abuse them. I'm hard on them because I love them so much and I know what their potential is. And I am going to demand that they are who they were destined to be.
Yeah.
So my thing back to answer your whole question is like, man, we got to quit worrying about what hurts each other's feelings. And we got to just know that, hey, look at somebody and say, hey, look, I love you. I love you. But hey, look, check it out. This ain't right.
Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you putting your story out there. You know, like I said, I've been following you for years, and you've had your whole own the dash mantra is probably something that hits my head every single day. So,
well, I appreciate you, brother.
It's had a positive effect on my life, and I try to spread it to others. So,
hey, man, and hey, let me.
Story. It's nice to know the real Dakota Meyer, not just the Medal of Honor recipient.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Hey, and listen, like what you did, man, it's incredible. I mean, you know, and I hope you give yourself a pat on the back for loving that man that much to tell him that.
Yeah, no, it was, you know, this was probably, I mean, God, it's been 10, 15 years or whatever it is. And I still think about it all the time. And now that his wedding's coming up, you know, I'm thinking about writing the whole best man speech, and all these thoughts are coming back to my head. And it's, you know, it was a scary story, but it's beautiful how it ended up. You know, he's living a good life. He's doing everything he's supposed to. And like I said, he's getting married next month, and I mean, couldn't be happier. So
yeah, you played a huge role in that, man.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate we need more positive examples for men like you out there. So,
well, I appreciate you, brother. I hope you have a great day. Hey, and good luck on writing that speech.
All right, man. Thank you.
See you, man. Take care. Man, how cool is that, Knives?
That was a heavy one, man. And that's really good advice. I'm going to take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about, you know, none of us like to, I mean, it never feels good, right? Even if you know you're doing something wrong, even if you know you're speeding and you get pulled over, none of us are happy about it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's probably my easiest example of, you know, you're doing wrong. You knew the speed limit, you know, you got caught, and it doesn't feel good. Right. And it's like, you know, we got to just hold each other accountable, but it's not about like just pointing out the flaws in people. It's about holding each other accountable because you care about them. Answer it. Hey, what's going on? It's Dakota with the Your Human podcast.
Hey, Dakota, what's up, buddy?
How are you, man?
Hey, man, I'm just watching your thing. I got to ask you a question.
Send it.
So my name's Jason. I'm from Minnesota. I followed you for a while, and I know that I've been struggling like really, really hard the past 3 years with a wife that I was married to since I was 21. I'm 43 now, and had a bad affair and left me with the kids. And I'm just like,
what are you struggling with?
Letting go, trying to move on. And I know that you had something. I mean, you didn't have that particular instance happen to you, but you had you had a family that,
yeah,
you know, and I'm like, how the fuck does everybody get through this shit? I mean, most days I can get through, and then some days I just want to eat a bullet. And
yeah.
I'm like, I just want to be out of here.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got kids?
I got two. They were 9 and 11 when the shit went down. And now they've been with me for 3 years, and they're, you know, 13 and 15.
Do you want me to tell you what you got to do? You want me to tell you what you're missing?
I'm trying, man. What am I missing?
You haven't forgave her.
No, I have not.
Yeah. You're and let me say this. You haven't forgave her, and it's only at the expense of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your peace of mind.
Yeah.
I'm not, look, obviously it was wrong, and obviously there were consequences because of it. But at the end of the day, man, like that's behind you. And the longer you hold on to that, the longer it steals from you. You know what I mean? And look, is she a good mother?
I personally don't feel like it because she doesn't know she's not really there for the kids. She doesn't do a whole lot with them besides bring home from school, and that's about it.
Yeah. And so here's what I'll tell you, man. All these things that I'm telling you that I'm talking about right now, they should, instead of you looking at them as like, man, this sucks, you should look at them as your fuel of why you need to get better. You need to get better, and you need to let this go because, you know, look, your kids need you. Your kids didn't choose you. You chose your kids, right? And man, like, you know, what is holding on to it doing for you? Is it like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, why do you care now, right? Why do you care that you know, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I couldn't imagine, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, like, learn from it. Let it go. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you still have 2 kids, 2 beautiful, healthy kids. maybe if you go and you let this go and you let this anger go, you know, she broke an obligation to you, you know, and now the only thing you can do is try to manage whatever the relationship's left for the kids, right? She's still the mother of your children. You love your children.
Of course.
And she gave you them.
Yeah.
No matter what. So yeah, you know what? I'm sorry that she screwed you over, but the best thing you can do, man, is to let it go. You know what? Let it go. And you need to be happy. You need to be healthy. You need to, you know, look in the mirror and do what you can and wake up and get better. And every thought that comes through your head, I want you to ask yourself, how is this helping me be better for my kids? And if it's not, you got to find a way to let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to love what you've got more than hating what you don't got.
Good point. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? And it's a choice. And I promise you this, man, it's a choice. And I'm telling you, the core of it is I don't know what you got to do to find a way to forgive her, but you have to, right? I mean, you have to forgive her. Like, we all have to forgive each other. Look, I get it. She fucked you over, period, right? Like, okay, now what? Like, you know, people fuck each other over every day. We let each other down every day, and we're all human. And you know what? She's been held accountable for it too, right? And you know, and like, I mean, imagine, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay it because it's a terrible, terrible thing. But the thing is, man, like, look at everybody who's suffering for it now. She's suffering. You're suffering. Your kids are suffering. Like, the people that you could be putting into are suffering. They're missing out on a great guy that you are. There's some woman out there that's looking for a damn good guy. And you know what I mean? Like, yeah, life ain't going to be this beautiful picture that somebody put in her head it's going to be. But you know, God always says that you know, that he does everything. Everything that happens, he did. And everything that he does is good, right? And so, like, what's the good part of this? What can you learn from this and be better?
Well, I think the biggest part is I've never faced betrayal this, you know, in my life, and the betrayal is so heavy, you know. But you're right. If I don't let it go, it's just going to consume me.
It is, man. And I'll tell you this, like, man, the fact that it's getting you to the point to where you sometimes just, you know, when you look around, you got these two, your kids healthy?
Yeah, very healthy.
Man, do they love you?
Love me very much.
Let me say this. The fact that this one thing is allowing you to say, I'd rather eat a bullet sometimes or get out of this, other than being able to focus on the love of your children, means that that's the most important reason you have to get rid of it. You got to let it go and forgive her. And the only way you can let it go is if you forgive her.
I appreciate it.
And you don't have to forget it. Like, people think like, oh, grace is this and forgiving is this. You don't have, like, look, a rattlesnake, you know, Granger Smith said it best. A rattlesnake can bite me. I can forgive it, but it doesn't mean that I got to go pet the rattlesnake again. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, dude, I hear you.
I'll tell you, brother,
I hear you.
I'm going to pray for you. And I hope that you can, I hope that you forgive her. And like, you should look at her and you should tell her that you forgive her, because I'll tell you this, she's probably hurting more than you are.
It's so hard because you never know what's going on that side of the fence, right?
But does it matter? Let me ask you this.
Plays so many games.
But does it matter? Like, does it matter? Because guess what? If she keeps doing that, she's going to have to live with more of the consequences. Man, you're forgiving her not for her. You're forgiving her to get it off your back.
That's true.
It doesn't matter what she does, right? She has to make her own decisions. We're always, man, so many times, like I talk about this, we try to live in these hypotheticals, right? Of, man, you know, well, if I do this, what are they going to do? What does it matter, man? Like, you know, you did your best. Like, at the end of the day, you do your best and you forgive her and you move on and you become a hell of a dad. She has a choice to either still ride on with it, still be angry and disgruntled, or she can sit here and be like, hell yeah, man, I don't deserve this forgiveness, but I appreciate it. And now I'm going to be the best mom I can. You know, let them decide what they're doing. Don't play that mental jujitsu of, well, and also don't do things based off of getting a reaction that you want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Man, Hey, I tell you what, you're going to be good. I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling in.
I appreciate you chatting with me, man. I can't tell you how grateful I am for your service and who you are as a human being and what you've done for society and people. And I appreciate you taking the time just to offer some advice. It's good to hear it. I don't sit and talk to a lot of people about it. So
Yeah.
it's an internal battle that I struggle with daily. And I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Well,
Tired.
the thing is that, man, that when you want the battle to be over with, all you got to do is stop fighting it and let it go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let it go. And I'm not, look, and I'll tell you this, man, like I was, after my divorce, man, I was angry all the time. Right. And gosh, there was, you know, and not, I mean, I don't want this to sound terrible, but like, you know, it would have been easier to divorce if there was something as absolute as what you're talking about. Right. You know, like, I mean, imagine getting divorced and, you know, just being two people who couldn't figure it out. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And like, that leaves more questions. You know, you've got a definite, so it's like, you know, none of this stuff's easy. None of this stuff goes right. None of this stuff's perfect. There's no clear, you know, we're all looking for the why question. It's like, you know what? This happened. I'm going to forgive her. She's still the mother of the kids. It's your job, man, to forgive her and to do whatever you can to make her the best mom that she can for the kids, to help her out and to be there for her if you can, right? And man, it's, you know, and at the end of the day, man, like, you're no good to everybody else. Like, hurt people.
Yeah.
You know, and like, man, it's going to be so good when you let it go and you forgive her and you find a way to forgive her. And, you know, she doesn't have to, you know, who knows what she's going to do? Who cares? Right? Like, man, it's for you. And then you're going to find somebody that's going to love you and they're going to appreciate you and they're going to build that trust up. And you got to love the process, you know, like, man, at the end of the day, what a guy told me when I was in kind of where you're at right now, a guy told me this, and I'm going to leave you with this. He said, Dakota, he said, if money or decisions can fix the problem, he goes, you ain't got problems. He said, when you can't do anything, when you can't forgive somebody, when you can't write a check or make more money to pay for it, then you got inconveniences. And I looked at him and I said, like, well, what do you mean? He said, man, when you got cancer or your kids got cancer or something like that, he goes, that's a problem. Everything else is an inconvenience that can be solved.
That's a really good way to look at it.
So I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for calling in, man. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you too. Take care, sir.
Take care, brother.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Gosh, what a good guy.
These are heavy, man.
Man, what a good guy.
This is amazing.
We got any more?
We've had a record-breaking calls come in, man. I'm approaching a full mag up here.
Perfect.
What can people do next week to be here again?
Man, you know what? Show up next week. We're going to be here on Tuesday. We'll be doing you know what? I don't know if it'll be Tuesday. I'm going to be in North Carolina on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Sometime next week.
They
got to subscribe to YouTube.
Yeah, you got to subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. We'll put it up there what day next week we're going to do it. You know what? I'll look. It might be Tuesday. No, it ain't going to be Tuesday. I'll figure out when it's going to be. Anyways, so subscribe to YouTube. Leave us questions down there. We'll try to answer them. Call in. Man, this is awesome. I love this. This is one of the favorite things I do all week. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. And I really appreciate you all tuning in, and go out there and do good, right? Like, you know, if you don't know what you can provide or what you bring to the table, man, just pick up a piece of trash. Like that guy said, pick up a piece of trash, hold the door for somebody. Tell somebody that their shoes look good. Tell somebody that you like their outfit. I'm telling you, watch what happens. Watch what happens when you're nice to somebody. You know, everybody in the room, when you think that you don't fit in, when you think that you're not, you know, that you don't fit in with the crowd or you don't add any value, here's the one thing I'll tell you, the equalizer is in every single room that you walk into is everybody in that room's going through something. Everybody in that room is struggling with something. So there you go. If you can, it's all a choice. It's a choice to be divided and it's a choice to be united, right? And make the choice. So, all right. Well, hope you guys have a great week and keep owning it.